Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. I'm going to answer another viewer's question today. They have a Penn Warfare. This is a Penn Warfare. And they're having a problem with the click button not staying engaged. They're telling me when they push it down, it very easily pops off rather than having a continual alarm. And they asked me to show them how to fix that. So that's the subject of today's video. At some point in the future, I'll go do another one of these Warfares, maybe this one even, to show you the complete servicing. But we've had a lot of requests come in lately, all good, that are asking for clarification on a piece of a project that they're working on, and either they've viewed a full video or they just are stuck, and they're asking me, can I do a video on that? So I have no problem doing it if I have the reel in my shop, and if I don't, I'll try and simulate that on another reel if I can help you. In this case, it's the Penn Warfare. This is a reel that came out in the mid-2000s. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of the Warfare, the Rival, or the Defiance as Penn products. I think they could do better, and I think they should have done better. But it is what it is, as they say. So I'm just going to lay that off to the side. We're going to get to that click mechanism, and the way to do that is you're going to remove the 3 screws that are in this tie-down plate here. And you may need a micro driver for the small ones. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of those out. And while I do that, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to my channel if you like these kinds of videos. If you like the video, please indicate that you like it on the screen as well. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification button. That way that will tell you what videos I'm posting and when they show up, and then you'll be able to see if it's a video that you're interested in. Some are very specific about a particular process, and many of them are the full rebuild of reels. So choose, pick and choose, but subscribe and check the notifications, and that'll enable you to do that. So we have a shield over the inner workings of this circle. We're going to remove that shield now. And here's your click mechanism. So if you have a stuck click mechanism, the only thing that can be happening with this, where it's not staying engaged and popping out, is that you have a worn click tongue. Now that happens if you're constantly using the reel in click mode, because on this reel you have a metal click on the back of the spool. You'll see it here. You have a metal click ratchet, and you actually have a metal drive for the worm gear as well. Well, metal on metal will wear down, and you're going to have the problem with one of 2 pieces on this. There's only 2 moving parts in it, right? There's the piece that moves on the spool with the click tongues behind that bearing, and there's the piece that moves in and out, or sometimes called the anti-reverse dog or click dog. So let's just assume that you've rounded this off because you've had the reel engaged all the time and it's not holding. Well, all you need to do is remove the tension on the spring and then remove the E-clip that's holding that part on. I'm just going to go for a micro driver to pry that off. This is the clip, and so you can see it inside the case here. This is the clip. And once you remove that clip, then you can remove the dog. You'll notice that the dog is not totally flat. There is a little upward bend to hold the spring. And there's a plastic washer that goes over the post. Alright, so if this got rounded out, there's nothing you can do but replace the part. To replace that part, you would find a parts distributor. I recommend mysticparts.com for that. They're a Penn parts distributor. Very good service there. Recommend them all the time. That's where I get my Penn parts when needed. All right, so let's assume you've just got the replacement part. You're going to put that back over the post. You may have to hold the post from the back side here because there is that groove that you need to seat the E-clip. Go ahead and take that E-clip. And we're just going to mount it into the groove. So if you have a question about a particular process like this viewer did, or maybe a real question, as I mentioned, I'm not a fan favorite of those Warfare, Defiance, and Rivals. Maybe you're considering purchasing one, or maybe you're considering purchasing another type of reel. If you want my opinion, I'll share it with you. Most of the Penn reels are good products. This one I'm just disappointed in, and it's just never been one of my favorites. I think when they switched over to the plant production and they changed the design on some of these, they changed materials and the like. I'm just having a little bit of difficulty getting that E-clip in, so I'm just going to grab a pliers to pull it in as opposed to trying to push it in with my hand strength. And that's it. You're back onto the clip, and the last part of it then is just simply taking that spring and loading it over the post. And that's how you would replace that clip. So when you have this in the off position, it's nested out, and when you put it in the on position, it pushes in. And you can see there's not much of a point here that's going to wear off. That point will nestle right into this groove, but it doesn't take a lot of wear if it's constantly being used to round out that point. And what's going to happen when it rounds out, it's just not going to be effective. It'll start with a slow voice, if you will, a slow click, and then eventually it'll just keep popping out. So we're going to show you how to reinstall that in case you went to all that trouble to do this. Just going to find your match again in terms of the two holes on the bottom and the hole on the top for this cover. Get that all nestled in properly, just like that. We noted that we had one big screw and two small screws. The big screw went up top. And it's a good time to tell you, if you're not familiar with the reel, if you're just getting in there and just getting started, take pictures. I take pictures with the video here, but if you take pictures with the digital camera, your cell phone, or anything like that, then you'll have reference points along the way. So if you got to this point and all of a sudden you realized you weren't paying attention, which screws go where, well, that'll give you an opportunity to go back and check that out. All right, we'll put that back on. Put this side back on. And just reload. So again, the cause of that is going to be one of two pieces. It's either going to be a worn tip here or a worn tip on the dog. This is hardened steel. The dog is more like an aluminum or some kind of metal. The dog is most likely the one that's wearing out because this just keeps beating it every click. And if you need to replace this, I do believe this assembly comes off. There is another E-clip right here. You can pull the spool drive, probably pull the spool ratchet, because that's the only way you're going to get the bearing off. So I'm going to say, well, this whole assembly comes off. You could probably order a replacement on this one as well. All right, I'm just going to put that back in, but make sure we can give it a test. Put the cover back on here. You need to line to the holes. Trim ring. A trim ring is off center, so it's only going to work in the one direction. There's only one proper way to fit it on, so if it's not lining up with the holes, take a moment, go get it corrected. And we'll just put the last three in, give it a test, make sure that it's back to where it was. We know this one was working before, but if you've had that failure, then that's how you go about fixing the dog, and of course you would want to test it before you went any further on that. This reel has been used on a charter boat. My only guess on this, you don't see these on charter boats, so my only guess is somebody left it on the boat and it just became part of the rental rod business. You can tell by the dirt on it, it hasn't been particularly cared for. You can tell that you got all kinds of dirt. You've got the, well, in this case it's all been polished off, but you can see on this side the grind and the like. All right, let's make sure that we have the reel working first, which we do. And now let's put that click mechanism in. So that's how you do it. That's how you would replace or repair a faulty click mechanism on a Penn Warfare. This one is the Penn Warfare 20 LW. So a lot of the newer Penn reels do have the click tongues or those parts available as replacement parts. The older ones do not. So the older ones you're going to have to drill out, and you're going to have to buy the replacements that are suitable for those reels. So for example, if you're in a Penn Del Mar or a Penn Long Beach, I do believe that the newer replacements for the Penn 209 will enable you to drill out and replace them with a C-clip loaded click tongue there. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please like it. If you want to see more, again, please subscribe. And again, if you have a reel that needs to be repaired, I service those by mail. If you contact me using the email on the business card that follows, I'll be happy to provide you with that information. Finally, to all the first responders and essential personnel keeping us safe during this pandemic, thank you for everything it is that you do. Everybody, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.